Well, that is a wrap on SEC Media Days. It's been a long week here in Hoover, Alabama. For Gridiron now, I am Alex McDaniel here with our own Rachel Baribeau. Rachel, there's so much to process.
Yeah.
But let's start with today. We ended with Will Muschamp, Les Miles, and Hugh Freeze. Rachel, what were your general takeaways? Ending definitely on a high note and an interesting note with a few of them. And it gave Coach Muschamp a chance to, talk and basically say what everyone was kind of thinking, which is, I'm not Steve Spurrier, he is Steve Spurrier, I'm my own person.
Yeah, I talked to Will Muschamp about a do-over and a chance to be a head coach again.
Yeah.
And, I think that he said I could go on for days, but he realizes the mistakes that he made. He realizes what he said, listen, we had a great defense. We still have a great defense, but I think he realizes, and he said it, that the problems lie with his offense. And so he gets that rare chance to do it again. The other thing I thought was really interesting, somebody asked him, the stuff on the sidelines where he goes absolutely nuts.
Yeah.
He said, if you're winning, it's passion.
Yeah.
It's fervor. It's good. And he said most of the time, actually, it's really calculated, believe it or not. And I think the Saban Feinbaum thing was yesterday. I think it was a little calculated. But he said it's calculated, and he said it's for players, like particular players. And so he said, and I agree with him. When you're not winning, he's crazy. He's going to have a stroke on the sidelines. When you're winning, it's, man, that coach is spirited. So I agree with that.
Closed on Hugh Freeze. There were obviously a lot of questions, but he seemed incredibly prepared.
Yeah.
He's known for that. He's known for being very prepared. He's known for paying a lot of attention to the media and what they're saying. Didn't even allow for the first question to catch him by surprise. In the big room, he immediately addressed the NCAA investigation. What was it like in the radio internet room? Same deal?
Yeah, the only thing he said, that was challenging was the length of time of the investigation.
Right.
Somebody did ask him, and I thought it was a really interesting question, and I applaud reporters this week for really interesting questions that try to, at the end of the day, get something out. It's not about your question, it's about what response you can get, what we can write, what we can share for you guys. And they asked him about unnamed other SEC coaches that have come out in the media and been very vague and said that he doesn't do it the right way, that they cheat, in effect. And he said, I would really love to know who any of those unnamed coaches are. He said, if they would be bold enough to actually say who they are, I would love to have a conversation with them. He said, but yet we can make innuendos and we can be between the lines in today's society, and they could say, I do this and I cut corners and I don't do it the right way. And he just said, listen, I'd welcome any conversation with any of those guys. He said, but yet, anytime I'm around any of them, they're all, hey, coach, we've been there before. Hey, hang tough. This too shall pass. Because a lot of schools in the SEC have gone through an NCAA investigation, unfortunately. So what he's saying is, in effect, to their face, Alex, they're very kind to him, but some are making these statements behind the guise of anonymity.
Exactly.
So he said, as kind as he's known to be, I'd love to have a conversation with him if they want to step up to the plate.
Absolutely. Well, last question today. The preseason poll comes out. The media gets a chance to vote on who's going to win both divisions in the SEC. Would you mind sharing?
Yeah, absolutely. I still think Alabama's going to do it again.
It's hard not to.
I know. Something special about LSU, and on the East side, I do finally think it's Tennessee's year. Mm-hmm. I do. I think the East is for the taking, but I also feel like Kirby Smart walked into an amazing situation at Georgia, and they have, if their running backs are healthy, and Easton plays early. I think they have the ability to do something special there. So that could be a toss-up. Florida obviously won it last year in a down East. But right now I'm thinking it's Alabama and Tennessee.